I was sick pretty much my whole life until they discovered I had cystic fibrosis at age 10. The doctors told my parents, you're lucky if your son makes it till his 16th birthday. I had a lot of colds, I had pneumonia, breathing becomes a major difficulty. My mom initially wanted to put me in a bubble and keep me at home, and my father, he said, well, if Jerry's not going to be around very long, he wanted me to spend a lot more time with my older brothers that were quite involved with sports.
Jerry Cahill likes to live by his father's mantra, you cannot fail. After all, at 56 years old, Jerry has survived far past the average life expectancy of 37 for those with CF. It's perhaps this mantra that led Jerry to working with a former All-Pro quarterback.
Just from being a dad of a cystic fibrosis child, the original goal, and it always has been the goal, was to raise enough money to cure the disease. Jerry wanted to volunteer, and he all of a sudden became my eyes and ears within the community of cystic fibrosis itself.
Jerry is a visionary, and he had this vision. He talked about having a race in Central Park 5 years ago.
Guys, run to breathe 10K, this is it!
It was him being out there with his oxygen tank that showed people, you know, you cannot fail, and you can do this too.
And I want to say a very, very special thank you. And that is Jerry Cahill, as you heard. He's out here running. If that isn't courage, I don't know what is.
I would tell you that he's the hero in our CF community. There has to be somebody living, breathing, and to be an example of the way it should be.
But despite this newfound sense of euphoria, Jerry's own life was spiraling downwards. His health was deteriorating at a rapid pace.
And I was getting sick then, I knew. I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without really getting out of breath.
He was suffering from a lot of lost or drowned lung. As the patient gets sicker, they all of a sudden get some episodes where they get admitted to the hospital, and all of a sudden they're having real trouble breathing. It becomes apparent to them that they're not going to get along very much longer, and one bad episode could make them from transplant candidates to too sick for transplant.
On April 17, 2012, Jerry Cahill entered the most challenging race of his life yet, a double lung transplant, forever changing every breath he'd take.
The next 24 hours, it's kind of all you could think about. I know I didn't sleep that night, and I know a lot of people didn't either.
It's a very, very long 5 to 8 hours. You know, the reality is, please, please come out of that operation.
Just having the transplant doesn't mean that, you know, I'm out of the woods, but I can breathe. Well, I think about the donor every day, you know. I mean, somebody had to die so that I could live. You know, because of that, I'm here today. So that's why every day is a gift, and yeah, I think about the donor every day. Dr. Sonnet sent me an email, but he said, hey, I'm running in Boomer's CF Run to Breathe. I want to know if you're going to be running it. And I saw this email, and I had to take a second look at it. I thought, I mean, I know I'm crazy. I said, is this guy nuts? Like, I just had a transplant.
He jumped on the opportunity, and I think I had trouble keeping up with him.
Way to go, Jerry!
And about halfway through the race, I saw Jerry in front of me.
How you doing? You didn't kill it, Jerry. You
And I ran up next to him, and he was sitting there running. He was struggling a little bit, but I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm looking at him, and he's smiling. That smile told me that his life is good, man, because this is what he loves more than anything.
I love it.
We knew going into the race this year that it was definitely going to be a celebration of life. He also beat his time from the year before. He has always told me that anything is possible.
Jerry Cahill's undetermined SOB. And for those of us who are around him, we're better people for him being in our life.
Average life expectancy right now with cystic fibrosis is 37, and I'm 56.